We've passed the halfway mark of this year's Ramadan, and as we all know, the end of this beautiful month comes all too soon. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this week's An Nur the Light. The Eid Shopping Festival has grown in leaps and bounds, and we visited the Dome in Johannesburg to see exactly what they have going on.
The Ramadan Eid Expo has once again taken place at the Dome in Johannesburg, with shoppers descending on the venue in droves. There are bargains galore as the young and old come looking at what's on offer.
The Eid Shopping Festival is an amazing cultural shopping experience. I grew up in the Eid Shopping Festival. I think I've seen it come to life. I've been there since day one. I've seen how the show has grown and how it has become what it is today.
It's the only Islamic professional platform. Everything else is flea markety. You know, people don't get to do their brands. They can't get great exposure. And in essence, they go there to sell something, and that's it. We, on the other hand, build their businesses. We develop systems for them. We help them with marketing. We teach them how to sell. We display. We take the client to the next level.
This year saw the United Arab Emirates ambassador attend, and he was quite impressed with what he saw.
I think there are some similarities, although no, there in the United Arab Emirates, you know, most of the communities are Muslims, you see. So actually you can see such activities, what I mean, throughout the year there in the United Arab Emirates. Although there are some special arrangements actually for the holy month of Ramadan. You see people just keep going to special foods, you see, for the holy month of Ramadan.
While bargains are the order of the day, the organizers have also ensured there's something for everyone. Modest fashion has become big business, and the expo put on a fashion parade, showcasing the latest and the best of local and international designers.
Well, one of the designers, Adore, her name is Adila. Her collection is Adore. She showcased her stuff with us on our ramp. Her motivation to making her stuff was when her father passed away. He owned a fabric factory, and so she grew up with fabrics, and that is what motivated her to create this amazing collection. And I think that she's one of the exhibitors that I hold close to heart, listening to her story.
The Ramadan Eid Expo is run as a business, but there's also a charitable element to it in the form of the Hood Foundation.
The Wishing Well is an opportunity that everybody would have to contribute to society. Very often people want to actually make a contribution. Some of us want to be a part of it, and others just want to give something and say, I've done something. The Wishing Well gives you as an individual an opportunity to be able to be a part of something. So when somebody walks into the Eid Shopping Festival, they get to make a wish on the wall, and say for example you actually want to contribute to that wish, you're able to write down that wish or that contribution and put it into the well. I think people want people interaction, and they're the most important thing. So we're not asking anybody for donations. We're asking them to give off themselves, because that feeling of euphoria that you have when you're giving off yourself is far greater than any amount of money that one could ever donate. So we want to give them that opportunity to say, for example, if you're a beauty spa and you don't necessarily have money to donate, you could donate a day treatment to somebody, and whatever wishes that we find on the wall, we could marry up that to the resources that we find in the well.
Live cooking stations brought people the latest in food trends and topics. Celebrity chefs shared some of their culinary secrets with the audience, as well as demonstrating quick and easy meals.
Firstly, you can come here and you can eat for days. Clothing, shopping. The nicest thing is that we are giving you clothing or food and stuff that you don't really find every single day. This is food and clothing that is exclusive to you as a customer. I think it's to show people you know how old people stick to their recipes for years and years and years? I think we want to show them how to make dal differently.
There was quite literally something for everyone. clothes, perfumes, household appliances, and home industry were all in attendance as the Ramadan Eid Shopping Festival becomes a one-stop shop for all your needs.
I feel great at the moment because I see everybody's busy shopping, and that's what we needed today. We just needed everyone's morals up and getting the place really busy. But the ultimate thing is that you plan this for a whole year, and then you see it coming together, and you see everybody excited, and the exhibitors doing so well, you know, and realizing everything we said we would do for them. And that is what makes me do it over and over, even though it's a lot of hard work.
As the attendance has grown over the years, so too has the event, with plans in place to host in Cape Town and Durban. The Ramadan Eid Shopping Festival has become a fixture on the annual calendar of the South African Muslim community.
It looks so exciting, and I'm sad I missed out, but now that I know, I'll definitely be attending next year's event. Dr. Nihal Vries joins me for this week's wellness segment, and we're talking health and wellness in the month of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum, Doc, and welcome back.
Wa alaikum salam, Mariam.
What are the health benefits of fasting?
The greatest health benefit is getting over addictions like smoking. It's the best time to quit. Also, niggly addictions like caffeine addictions. Fasting definitely lowers and helps with fat control and weight management and weight loss, which sort of has a knock-on effect on blood pressure, so it lowers your blood pressure as well. And then also from a detox angle, you're going to be sort of detoxing from all those artificial additives and preservatives that you'd usually consume in your food. And if you actually pair this with a good healthy breakfast in the morning for suhoor time and a nutritious meal in the evenings, you can actually boost your immune system. So you're sort of flushing out all the toxins, and you are sort of getting all the nutrition going.
So what are the misconceptions with fasting?
A lot of people are, in terms of the chronic medical illnesses, are shying away from or afraid of or cautious of fasting. I would say if you are a type 1 diabetic, so you are insulin dependent, rather to avoid fasting. However, your type 2s, those that are not insulin dependent, if they are well-controlled diabetics, they can go ahead and fast, provided they're obviously taking their medication in the mornings before they start the fast, and in the evenings when they're breaking the fast. And the same was with the hypertensive patients. So as long as you time your medication properly, and I would say maintain an adequate hydration when you're not fasting, like in the evenings, maintain at least 2.5 liters. You can break it down into 2 glasses throughout the evening, and then 2 in the morning. Obviously, you don't want to be drinking too much water at one time, because that pushes the blood pressure just up a little bit. Just mention also, a lot of pregnant women also are a bit nervous about fasting. I would say in the first trimester, just to avoid fasting. But should you have a healthy pregnancy, in the second trimester, you could attempt fasting, provided you obviously have adequate nutrition during the evenings and obviously good hydration as well. And obviously to be passed by your healthcare provider as well.
How can we incorporate these healthy habits even after the month of Ramadan?
Okay, so definitely the no smoking thing. Ramadan is the best time to quit smoking. The healthy eating habits, it definitely promotes diet. It's the best time to start reforming your eating habits as well.
What about exercising in Ramadan? Is it recommended?
Exercise during the day, not a good idea, because you're going to be increasing your fluid requirements. By exercising, you need to take in fluids. So if you can fit it in after you break your fast, then I'm sure that will be fine. I don't think there's any problem with that.
Shukran, Doc, for always keeping us informed.
It's my pleasure, Mariam.
Next up, we pay tribute to Maulana Ihsaan Hendriks, who has served the Muslim community with dedication.
Mawlana Ihsaan Hendriks has been an icon in the Muslim community. 10 years ago, he assumed the role of President of the Muslim Judicial Council and has transformed it into the modern organization it is today.
I first of all must express my gratitude to the Muslim Judicial Council, to the leadership of the MJC, to my colleagues, my friends, my comrades here in the MJC, for having shown that confidence in me during the time that I was the president of the MJC. There were many challenges that we did not reach the ideal. I don't want to just talk about the success stories. There could be a number of areas that we have not achieved the ideal, and that still needs to be given maximum attention by the future leadership. So first of all, I wish and I pledge my allegiance to the new president of the Muslim Judicial Council, Sheikh Irfan Abrams, the newly elected team, and we are confident that the MJC is in good hands. A very wonderful lesson that we've all learned is that leadership is not limited to being the chairperson or the president. We have to continue to play a very important role in the Muslim Judicial Council.
The term of the president of the Muslim Judicial Council is 5 years, and when it came to extend this, his peers in the organization did not hesitate. One of the Mawlana's strongest characters as a leader is identifying other people who he can place his faith in and trust to get the job done.
My journey with Maulana Ihsaan Hendriks started in the year 1990. When I met him for the first time, and he was actually then my teacher, and still is. That time I was a student at ICOSA, and that is where our relationship started, and it just gained momentum more and more and more. He always used to tell us, and even up to now, said, we must be in the business of producing leadership. We must produce leaders, and not a leader for the MJC, but leaders for the MJC. How would I characterize Maulana Ihsaan's leadership in one statement? I say that's easy. And again, I'm reiterating it's easy. Visionary leadership. I am probably the person over the last 10 years or so that I'd spent the most time with Maulana Ihsaan, worked very closely, obviously on the Palestinian issue struggle, as well as MJC matters and so on.
At the Muslim Judicial Council, one of Mawlana's lasting contributions has been the overhaul of the organization and bringing in skilled people to assist.
The position of administrator is an executive position. I serve on the Executive Council of the Muslim Judicial Council. Maulana Ihsaan is generally well known and respected, even to the community out there, as a very dynamic leader, a capable and competent person, a person who has great managerial skills, an orator in his own right, and a person who was able to communicate with one and all in the Muslim Judicial Council, a task leader, but also a socio-emotional leader that kept the team together at all times. And we, as an executive council and part of the secretariat, had a great working relationship with Maulana Ihsaan over many years. A leader that has been respected by one and all, the seniors, the juniors, and our staff generally.
Over the course of Mawlana's tenure as the president of the Muslim Judicial Council, one of the main issues he championed was the struggle in Palestine. He was elected onto the global Palestine Solidarity campaign and often spoke both locally and abroad about the struggle of the Palestinians.
I will continue to be dedicated now for more time to the Al-Quds Foundation, and hope to spend a little bit more time on the Palestinian profile, because during this particular period of 10 years, I had to merge between many portfolios. I have many people to thank, many people in the community for having supported and having been supportive over the last 10 years, particularly when I was the president. And I urge all these supporters to continue to give their support to the new leadership of the Muslim Judicial Council, and pray that the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve and protect the MJC, and this community will grow from strength to strength, inshallah.
The sun may be setting on this phase of his life, But Maulana Ihsaan is far from done. He moves on to the Imamat, an advisory panel of the elders set up to guide and counsel the Muslim Judicial Council, as well as other religious bodies. Hopefully his wisdom and opinion will become an invaluable source of comfort to the new group of people who will carry on the legacy he and others before him have left behind.
Jazakallah khair, Maulana Ihsaan, for all that you've done, and I hope you're going to make the most of your free time. Our monthly events calendar is waiting to inform you what's happening over the course of the next few weeks.
Book your tickets now for the acclaimed District 6 Kanala show at the Fugard Theatre. With sold-out shows for many months now, District 6 Kanala has proved to be a major success, capturing the hearts of all who knew of the beloved District 6. Book your tickets online now and don't miss this unforgettable production. The Islamic Forum, in conjunction with the Women's Cultural Group, invites you to a seminar and discussion entitled Muslim Women Between Tradition and Modernity with Sheikh Yasser Auda. The event explores the impact of modernization on Muslim women. The discussion surrounding Muslim women between tradition and modernity is something we can all learn from, so don't miss this insightful event. Registration for the Islamic Forum's annual Family Islamic Retreat takes place between the 29th and 31st of July is now open. Guest speakers will be Sheikh Yasser Auda and Dr. Basma Abdel Khafar, focusing on reflection of the Quran. The retreat will be taking place at the tranquil Ezulwini Berg Resort and is an event not to be missed by the entire family. A family that prays together stays together. Decorating your home can often be a tedious exercise and one that takes a great deal of inspiration. Fortunately, Decorex comes to Johannesburg on the 5th of August this year and runs until the 9th of August. With a showcase of the latest decor and design trends, products and services, there's bound to be something for everyone, and is certainly the place to be when looking for fresh ideas for your home decor. Decorex Johannesburg also offers interactive dining and entertaining demonstrations for the whole family.
Don't forget to send us your events as early as possible so we can feature it on our show. With Eid on its way, we asked Lamise to share with us a quick and easy dessert recipe. And as you know, she never fails.
Everybody loves something sweet, and my firstborn son is an insatiable chocoholic, and this is in fact one of his favorite desserts. And believe it or not, this is a recipe that was shared with me by a very good friend and a chartered accountant, no doubt, called Dean Schweizer. And the ingredients that you need for this chocolate tort, as exotic as it sounds, it's actually very simple to make. So for the base, I've used 2 packets of tennis biscuits and about 200 grams of melted butter that I've literally just zapped together in a food processor until it forms a crumbly mix. And when you pinch it together and it sticks, that's when you know it's ready. And for the tart filling, you need the following ingredients. I've got 250 grams of mascarpone cheese, so that's 1 tub of mascarpone cheese. I've got 200 grams, that's a big slab of milk chocolate, and I've got 200 grams of dark chocolate. Please use good chocolate, because there's nothing worse than putting cheap chocolate in a chocolate tart and expecting a good result. And to mix all of this together, I've got 1 cup of full cream milk. And this is easy peasy to make. The first step in this process is to take my filling, which is my tennis biscuits and butter, and push it into a pie-based pan. Please use one that has a loose base. This makes it so much easier to remove your tart before you slice it. So I'm literally going to take all of this and plunk it in here. So you start by doing your edges first, and make sure that you take it all the way up to the edge, because you want to have a nice crust when you do your slices. And for those really hectic chocoholics out there that only like your dark orange variety of chocolate, you can substitute the milk chocolate that you would generally use for 100% dark chocolate, but ardent chocoholics swear by it. Okay, so now that my sides are all nicely done, all we have to do is flatten the rest of the mixture as our base. And you want to make sure that you get this nice and evenly distributed. And the easiest way to do this, to get it to stick perfectly, is when you've just zapped it in the food processor and it's still slightly warm. It makes it a lot more pliable and easy to set. And once you've got it all in space, the back of a spoon and and this gets popped in the fridge for about an hour, 30 minutes, just to set. So while my base is setting in the fridge, what I'm going to do is just put together a simple double boiler. If you've got one, great. If you don't, all you need is a pot of water. You want your water to be boiling, and using a glass dish or even a stainless steel one that fits into your pot, but make sure that the water can't spill out on the outside so that it ruins your chocolate. And there you have it. All you need to do now is literally throw in your milk chocolate, your dark chocolate, and wait for that to start slowly melting. Yes, you can actually see it starting to melt. You've got to be very careful to make sure that the water doesn't go into the chocolate, because what happens then is it forms, the chocolate actually starts to split, and you get these hard little lumps of chocolate in the middle of your tart. Once the water starts to boil, just turn it down gently. I'm going to add in my milk. And my mascarpone cheese. And just wait for all of this to start infuse. What I promise you is a delicious tart. All starting to just meld and come together. So what I'm going to do now is take this off the heat, pour it into my filling, make sure you put it on a level surface in the fridge, and let that sit for about an hour. And in goes my chocolate tart filling. Rich, velvety, chocolatey, divine. So this I'm going to put in the fridge to set for about an hour. Make sure you put it on a flat surface so that it sets nice and evenly. Let it sit for about an hour to 2 in your fridge, and this served with a raspberry coulis and just a dollop of cream. Delish.
Right, I'm definitely making that. If you're planning on making it as well, please share your pics on our Facebook and Instagram pages. I'm off to get ingredients for my chocolate tart, so until next week, I'm Mara Mukwanda. Salang Hantle. Assalamu alaikum.